The subject is the deity Vajrakila. Vajrakila is very important for a lot of reasons, and one reason is because it's very much a bridge between the Sarma schools and the old traditional Nyingma tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. It wasn't always a bridge, but it has become a bridge in many ways. Now, Vajrakila is a wrathful male deity embracing his consort, Dipta Chakra. He has 3 faces, 6 arms, 4 legs, and a set of wings that unfurl behind, and wrathful in appearance. Now, Vajrakila is actually the generic Heruka figure of the Nyingma. So when you talk about the Nyingma Herukas, then you're talking about this male wrathful figure, 3-faced, 6-armed. Very generic. Now we have to remember, the Nyingmas have different definitions for different words than the Sarma traditions, because in the Sarma traditions, Heruka has a different meaning, can have a different meaning entirely. It still conveys this kind of wrathful or semi-wrathful appearance. Now in Nyingma, the Heruka is wrathful. But in the Sarma traditions, it can be semi-peaceful, semi-wrathful, and wrathful both. So, but also in the Sarma traditions, Heruka can also mean a one-faced, 2-armed, sort of simplified version of He Vajra, Kala Chakra, Guya Samaja, Chakra Sambara, or Vajra Bhairava. So Heruka can have a different meaning. So we need to separate that. But here with Vajrakilaya, we have 3 faces, 6 arms, wrathful. Now, his main feature, the main iconographic attribute that is famous, is actually the Kila part of the name, Vajrakila. Kila means a peg or a stake. Depending on what part of the English world you come from, you refer to a tent, and erecting a tent, then you use pegs or you use stakes. It's the same thing, it's just 2 different words for the wooden or the metal kind of nail, the stake you put into the ground. Now that's what a kila is. It is not a dagger, it's not a tantric dagger or anything like that. It's meant to pin things down. And the main attribute, iconographic attribute of Vajrakila is this stake, which he has in his 2 hands. His first pair of hands, he holds the 2 hands holding a kila at the level of his heart. And if you read some commentaries, then he's actually twirling it. He's actually like spinning it in his hands, like he's grinding it into the ground or grinding it into the ego or into the obstacle at hand. So now there's 3 ways that we really understand Vajrakila from an art point of view, and also from a religious context point of view. We look at it from the early Nyingma and Sakya traditions, then secondly the revealed treasure traditions of the Nyingma, and then thirdly we really have to look at the Bön religion and look at their traditions of what's called Purba Drugse Chempa. And within the Bön religion they actually have 3 very different traditions of Bön, which come from 3 different geographic regions of the Himalayas and basically Asia. So Vajrakila can be a little bit of a difficult subject. We also cannot say that it is not original to India, because we do very much have the peg, the kila representation in India, and we have the mantras that are represented in the practices of Vajrakila. We find those in India as well. So we can't say that it's a borrowing from Bön. This is clearly not necessarily the case. So Bön plays a role in understanding the deeper meanings of the history and possibly some of the art history of Vajrakila. So this is just an introduction.